gentlemen, this is something,
It's a special edition.
yes, it is a special edition, of Saturday Night Nightmare, that is.
Indeed.
We just got, literally, just got out of the theater, finishing watching, The Unholy with, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
One thing I gotta say is, holy shit.
Yeah.
I haven't, enjoyed a horror, horror movie like that in the theater since The Conjuring.
And let me tell you guys, before we get started, spoilers ahead. If you have not seen this, the movie just came out when? Friday?
Friday.
Okay, the movie just came out Friday, on the, what was it, the 9th? Yeah, it came out, yeah, it came out Friday the 9th. It's Sunday the 11th right now. So spoilers ahead. If you don't want to know anything about the movie, any spoilers about the movie, leave now, watch it, come back.
Before you go, I will say go see it.
Yeah.
Especially if you enjoyed The Exorcist, especially if you enjoyed The Conjuring, go see it.
Okay. With
Yes.
that said, are you gone? Okay. So, yeah. This movie
First off,
so bonkers.
First off, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a fucking god. His role in this was just... First off, you do end up forgetting it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
You totally, okay, and you don't remember that he's Ben Negan or, the dad from Supernatural. It's Fenn. Mr. Fenn.
Glenn Fenn.
Glenn Fenn.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So his first name is Glenn, and he's in a cafe called Maggie's. In this, I noticed the Maggie's. How did I not catch his first name?
I don't know. Because they kept calling him just his last name.
Right. That's really fucking funny.
Is it Glenn or one or the other? I don't know.
Either way, if it was Glenn, even better.
Yeah.
But he definitely goes to a cafe called Maggie's.
Yeah.
So, holy wow.
So first of all, okay, wait. Let's give you guys a rundown.
A quick synopsis.
Yeah, a quick synopsis on this whole movie. Basically, he's a journalist.
A tabloid journalist.
Yeah, a tabloid journalist who basically in his past time, he fabricated a lot of stuff to the point where...
And he got shit canned for it.
Yeah, to the point where his career went down the tubes. So,
and he was paying piecemeal for little stories, which was what brought him to this town.
Okay. Do you want to say it? You want me to say it or you want to say it?
Why don't we both say it like we're doing?
I mean, because it messes up everything. So you go ahead and say it if you want to.
So he gets, a piecemeal story because they hear about a cattle mutilation in this small town in Massachusetts called Banfield. He goes, sees that it's just, the farmer's son molesting the cow. Sees this weird creepy tree, which happens to be in the side yard of a church. And goes over, there's this weird little doll inside the tree. And he's like, oh, look at this. I'm going to break this doll. Hey, relic destroyed. Releases evil spirits. Starts with cow mutilation. 2, fabricate a story. So then, as he's drinking and driving home, he sees this girl in the middle of the road. Misses her, but crashes into a tree, follows her. She goes to this same creepy tree, is praying, and he goes up and she's like, says something.
She's talking to the tree, basically.
She's talking to the tree, seemingly. And he puts his hand on her shoulder. She's like, oh, says something about the lady is speaking to me, and passes out. Mm-hmm. He carries her to the church, finds out that it's the niece of the local Catholic parish priest. So, middle of Mass the next day, this girl who is deaf and no hearing, or is deaf and can't speak, starts talking. walks out to the tree and is like, Mary is speaking to me. And she starts performing miracles. So, of course, the church gets involved. Mr. Fenn says, hey, I'd like access to, because she's connected with me. I want prime access. So he gets to see everything, and she trusts him, and she's talking to him and tells him everything. And, you know, as the movie goes on, we start figuring out that, I forgot to talk about in the very beginning.
No, don't worry about that. Just get to the overall point.
Yeah. We find out that the Mary that's talking to her is not the Blessed Virgin Mary, as she is thinking. It is a Mary.
Mary Eleanor.
Mary Eleanor, who was executed and purged of her sins in 1845 by the people and the Catholic parish of Banfield, for basically being a bride of Satan, which she actually was. So as people start figuring this out, people start dying.
Oh yeah, the parish dies. The
priest.
The priest died.
He kills himself.
Yeah, he was found hung in the church, and like a whole bunch of crazy stuff happens.
Yeah.
And then when it gets towards the end, it gets to the all out point that basically anyone who prays to Mary
is fueling this evil spirit.
Yeah, to the point where she wants them to pray their souls to her so she can take them into hell and do whatever.
Right.
And be one with... And another thing, we found out that Alice, the deaf girl...
is directly from her bloodline.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's another... So everybody online, everybody on TV, everybody who's at the shrine, the everything, are watching this. And they're praying to her. And then basically at the end...
Because, of course, Mr. Fenn and the local doctor, they figure out the whole thing of, this is really Mary Eleanor. This isn't the Virgin Mary. And he tries to present it to the Archbishop of Boston, which is played by Cary Elwes. And as always, he makes a fantastic douche. But of course, he's so involved in the fact that it's bringing people back to the church and that it's giving the town of Banfield this extra faith and this extra income that he ignores the fact that this is happening. So, yeah.
It becomes to make this short and sweet, because we don't want to just say the whole movie for you. Basically, Alice sacrificed herself when the entity is attacking Finn. And by sacrificing herself, she banishes the entity because she lives through her children.
And she kills her children, so she's now dead. That's the last of her bloodline.
But then Finn basically makes a plea to God, and God does the miraculous miracle of raising her from the dead.
Brings her back.
Yeah. Raising her from the dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, this movie already hasn't been getting very good press. And
I feel like I have serious Exorcist vibes with this movie. It's got that, I was raised Catholic, so all of the things they were talking about, like
both were, yeah,
the Lourdes thing, the Fatima thing, all of these ideas of, the Virgin Mary doing these miracles through shrines. It was like, oh, this is really believable. But the theme through the whole thing that the priest brings up is that you know, where God is showing his miracles, the devil is not far behind.
So basically, where God makes a church, the devil makes a chapel.
Right.
Type thing.
And, you know, so he is wary from the very beginning, hence him also, and he figures it out.
Correct.
And hence him being one of the first ones that gets offed by Mary Eleanor.
Yep. And
so...
let's get started with her first.
Oh, man.
She is a creepy ass beast.
Oh my God.
And it's just the way she appears out of nowhere half of the time.
Like apparition. You know, she's over here, you run, and boom, she's right in front of your face.
You guys think I jumped a lot during Dolls? I jumped so much in this movie, I could have been a fucking bunny.
I literally screamed at one. That was the one where she came out of the stream. Yeah. Oh my Lord!
Yeah, it was crazy.
I jumped and squealed.
Oh man, it was just crazy.
So
and
good.
Then figuring out the fact that she basically, you know, the bride of Satan. And
yeah.
She confessed to the fact that
she had a lovely Irish accent.
Yeah, and then it became all.
Yeah. Then it wasn't so lovely.
No, it wasn't. And then it was. Oh man, they nailed the Virgin Mary's face as a mask.
Yeah, when they executed her in 1845. So she confessed to being the bride of Satan. So how they did her in is they tied her up and nailed a mask of the Virgin Mary's face to her face, and then set her on fire and then strung her up in a tree by her neck.
Like overkill a lot. They wanted to make sure she was super dead, and then put her soul into the...
what is it? A Kern doll?
A Kern doll, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess this is a Massachusetts lore thing, that Kern dolls would be planted or left on somebody's property both for luck, but also it was believed that an evil spirit could be coaxed into these dolls to banish it from wherever it was. So that's what they did with Mary Eleanor. So hence the doll that Mr. Fenn broke released Mary Eleanor's spirit. Yeah.
Now, I did like the fact that, you know, this movie was very to the point, but it still gave time to tell the story and the lore around everything. I enjoyed that. A lot of movies like this can never do it properly.
Right. It's either really slow with exposition and then boom.
This one, this movie was it caught you off guard at every point in time.
I was enthralled from start to finish.
Like, you definitely had to pay it. Like, it wasn't like a mind buster movie, but it was one of those things where if you looked away, you'd miss something.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, we're doing the snack thing and we're just sort of...
We're like grabbing without looking and shit like that. It was crazy.
Sorry.
It was crazy.
I mean...
We were like, what, one of 6 people in there? We were like 2 of 6 people?
2 of maybe 8. More people came in after I think it started.
We completely forgot that there were other people in the theater.
It was like we had the place to ourselves, which is great, you know, in this time. We came out to an actual theater because this isn't streaming anywhere, and I really needed to see it on the big screen.
You really needed to see it, and it was, and of course, we ended up seeing it on Sunday, which is a holy day for some people.
It's true. For the Catholics, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and one of the things I loved about it too, like I said, I was enthralled from start to finish. A lot of these newer horror movies that come out, they have this great, like, build up, and they have this great, like, you know, middle part, and then I've been finding the endings like anticlimactic, and this it did that beautiful crest so well. So well.
Very much. And
so well.
You want to talk about shrieks and screams and jumps, and it literally had everything you can imagine to make you scared.
My poor heart.
Yeah, for real. For real. Like, when it comes to horror movies, for me, like, you really, really need to get me to jump for some things. And usually people know what to do to get me to jump.
This one even had a doll for you.
Yeah, it did, but not too long.
No.
Even though they did do when that thing popped in the beginning, I was like, what the fuck is that doing there? I was like, oh, get it away. And I was like, okay, it's gone. Then he took it from underneath the tree. I was like, what is it doing there? And then he broke the face. I was like, ha. And then it did a close up at the eye. I was like, what are you doing? No, but
did the statues bother you?
It was very quick. That Virgin Mary one did bother me.
The crying, of course, because they use that beautiful trope of the crying statue.
You know what I really thought was going to happen? I thought the eyes were going to move in that Virgin Mary.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't think that was going to happen.
I was like...
Because that is the thing, like, there, you know, when there's these miraculous things, there's the legend of the crying Virgin Mary statue. I think that might be one of the Lourdes ones. No, that's the fountain. But either way, there's miracle things associated with a crying statue. And then the thought is, if a statue of a holy thing is crying blood, there's something even the evil involved.
Right.
The other thing I really enjoyed it playing on was that idea of false prophet.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great because they even had like a nice little quote at the very end of the film about following false prophets from, I think it was Proverbs.
Matthew?
Yeah, the book of Matthew?
The book of Matthew.
Okay. And they really just, because people were so quick to not just rever this girl who was performing miracles, but they were literally pledging their souls to Mary.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing, if you're Catholic, or you know, because
that's a part of the Ten Commandments, man.
Yeah, the Protestants don't have as much of an obsession with the Virgin Mary as the Catholics do. And they almost rever her in a goddess type way. And that's not to offend any Catholics. You know, hell, when I was a practicing Catholic, I revered the Virgin Mary myself. But you know, most Protestant religions, and please correct me if I'm wrong, please comment if you know differently. I've only been exposed to certain ones, but they, you know, recognize her as the mother of Christ, but they don't give her this super like special sainthood type of thing, where the Catholics do. And there are shrines, and there are special holidays that worship her, and you know, it's right there. You shall not have false idols. You know, you shall not worship any gods before me. You know, says the pagan.
Yeah. But that's basically what the Ten Commandments says. Yes.
And so they're pledging their souls to Mary when they should be doing that to the Lord, or even Jesus Christ, who is, with the whole Trinity of Holy Spirit, Father, Son, Holy Spirit in the Catholic faith, they're all one and the same. Okay. That's what we were starting to talk about before.
So I don't want to make this longer than what it has to be. I want to make it less than 30. So
I like how they focused like on that.
I did like that. It was very, very informative, especially for someone like myself who was a practitioner of that for years as well.
Were you an actual practitioner or just went to school?
I went to school and I practiced.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically where I practiced from, which was in school.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Know. But my family is full of different practices of different religions anyway. But Jeffrey D. Morgan was an awesome addition to this. The woman who played Alice, it was just Cricket Brown.
Yeah,
that's her name. She was pretty. She was interesting.
Was very good. She had that innocence to her, but was able to do that little bit of a switch, when she was getting fervent, I think is the right word, when Mary was starting to take over a little bit more.
And
of course Cary Elwes.
Oh yeah, with his Boston accent,
which is so weird.
I can't. All I can think of when he's speaking in a Boston accent, I'm all like, well, I just go back to Robin Hood and be like, well, I'm a Robin Hood who speaks with an English accent. But you're not a Bostoner, I can tell you that.
Doesn't he have a weird accent in Saw too?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Like a New York one or something.
I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while since I've seen Saw. But yeah, this movie, along with everything, it deserves to, even though it's getting slack for its subject matter.
Just like The Exorcist.
I love the fact that with the slack that it's getting, it's still getting the popularity, because when you give something negative feedback towards, people are going to see why.
Like The Exorcist.
Right. And then they realize it's freaking amazing and it's something that, should be put out there. Mm-hmm. The special effects of Mary Eleanor was really top notch. They didn't ring on it too much until the very end when they showed her fully.
Yeah.
But
you got little glimpses.
Yeah.
And there was even, the biggest, you didn't fully see her at all until the middle.
Yeah.
When she killed the priest.
Right.
And I even said to Echo Ninja here, I was like, because you can tell it's a real person, but it has some CGI overlay. And I looked at him, I'm like, I don't even care that she's CGI because it's really good CGI.
I would love to see how they produced that, because of course there is an actress that they named who plays her, and there's a voice actress for the character.
Right.
So I really wonder how they put that together.
Probably how they how they did Gollum in Lord of the Rings,
or also how they did Thanos in Avengers.
Yeah.
Because they basically had him in this whole thing and had a huge harness on him.
Looks like a lot of ping pong balls on them, something like that.
And a huge harness to kind of let people look at so they can see the height of everything.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, you know what? I'm gonna straight up. I can't even say anything bad about this movie.
I'm saying 10 screams.
Me too. I'm saying 10 too. It's definitely 10. There was nothing bad about this movie. This movie had great pacing. To me, it didn't even have plot devices, because when you thought something, okay, so everything, nothing with the miracles are gonna happen. But no, the kid, the one kid who got who got cured of his
muscular dystrophy.
It came back.
Yeah, because that was the thing that they found out in the journals from 1845 was that after they caught Mary Eleanor, any one of the miracles that she performed reversed.
Yeah. And everybody, the
girl's speech and hearing, she lost that.
She lost that back, but cool ass Finn, he learned how to sign real quick. But the relationship between both of those characters, Alice and Finn, were really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It developed very nicely. They even had another character who I kind of thought, I was like, I hope it doesn't end up being some
like a romantic interest.
And
the
it
doctor,
wasn't, and it wasn't, and it's good. It was just it was
just
like
a playful friendship that it sort of developed,
which was really cool. And I like that none of this was as cliche as some people thought it might come out to be.
I said it, and then he even said it too, because I don't think you heard me, was like, I can't wait to see where this goes, because it wasn't predictable.
No.
Like, a lot of these films are so predictable.
I had a terrible feeling when the whole end was happening and she was doing the prayer. I had a terrible feeling it was going to end on a bad note. Like,
it came close.
I was like, yo, this is going to end bad. Really bad.
It came close.
And if it wasn't for that doctor, man, oh boy.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, like we said, though, 10 screams for this one. We highly...
It even elicited screams.
Yeah. We highly recommend you watch this.
Yeah.
If you can watch this safely in theaters, that would be great. Or if you can catch it online, if it does end up being streamed, that'll be good too.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, The Unholy, check it out. Really check it out, guys.
So worth it.
Comment down below if you've seen it, or you know, anything. Just put it down below in our comments. Mm-hmm. Subscribe as usual. And like the video if you enjoyed this. Thanks for being patient with us these past 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. But we will be getting back to normal strength in no time.
Yep.
You know us. Well, I'm just trying to take a little break. I'm sorry if you guys are like fiending for a Saturday Night Nightmare. But this will be out quick.
This is a little appetizer.
Yeah, this is a little small thing until the next episode comes out on Saturday. So just be patient, a little patient. All right, guys.
Or we'll send Mary Eleanor after you.
I hope not. Without further ado, anyway, guys, I'm Echo.
I'm Crimson.
And we will see you next weekend. Peace.
Ow.